Teach me about her.
Hey, officially, we're moving on to our favorite theme song for the show, Boy Meets World.
Pretty much, yeah. Although I am quite fond of season 4, so
I know season 4 has a special place in your heart. It's kind of a
it
reflective.
does.
We're season 5 to 7 is almost like that. Hey, they're
That's the
they're
iconic
they're
one.
basically adults now.
Yes.
When these dads meet world, watching Boy Meets World. We grew up on the show, now we have kids and host a podcast. We watch each episode and then share our thoughts and grades. When these dads meet world.
They want you to take the roles. They want you to take the roles.
Oh, you're good.
Well, welcome back to Dad's Meet World. This is our season 4 recap episode, Brett. I'm gonna
It is.
host us for this little bit, and with me, of course, is Brett.
Sandalwood and Lang Lang, thank you.
Thank you. Is that your favorite quote from the season, Brett?
Oh, not at all.
I know. I just so you guys know, good looking people, when we enter into for our video recording, you put down what your name is, and for this whole season, since we started using the system, we'll put something about the episode. And I was like, oh, this is the last time we're going to talk about season 4. So I'm like, I gotta put down good looking guy, because that's my thing. When I call Brett, it says, when a crime
When
breaks
the crime
out, all the
breaks
cute girls
out, all the
shout,
cute girls
get the
shout, get the
good looking
good-looking
guy.
guy.
hmm I'm sure in post those will get synchronized.
Oh, yes. Completely.
Yes. So, good looking people, we're going to start off real quick with a couple of small season deep dives for us. They're going to be quick. And then we're going to get to our classic going through the grades, and we'll get to see our fun faces and talk about what we thought about the season as a whole. And then I have a special little surprise for Brett and for all of you out there. And we're going to call that little last segment Dadvice.
All right.
Yes. So, uh, something that came up a couple of times, Brett, that we both kind of tracked, and we're like, "What's the deal with that?" Is they kept mentioning how Sean could be going and getting the next scratch off lottery, essentially, and that's going to be his
Mm-hmm.
existence. Um, which I feel like they're talking down to people who play the scratch off lotteries. I quite think the crossword and bingo cards are quite fun, but that's just me. Um, I learned that apparently the earliest form of a lottery can be traced back to the early Chinese. Oh, where did I have that exactly? Sorry. Yes. So the first recorded signs of lottery are keno slips from Chinese Han Dynasty
Hmm.
between 205 and 187 BC. These lotteries were believed to have helped finance major government projects like the Great Wall of China and from the Chinese Book of Songs. Uh, so yeah, um, there were also lotteries from the Roman Empire as well. So lottery is not just something from today, although I think we now have a much lower view of people who are willing to play the lottery. But
Mm-hmm.
also, I think there's a little bit more of a scam to it now.
Yeah.
Yes. So speaking of scams, lotteries, like any form of gambling, are suitable to fraud despite a high degree of scrutiny claimed by the organizers. Numerous of these scams exist. Some advanced fees fraud scams on the internet are based on lottery. The fraud starts with scam or spam. Congratulations, they're the recipient of being recent lottery win. The email explains that in order to release the funds, the email recipient must part with a certain amount of tax/fee per the rules or risk forfeitures. So that's kind of saying if you get a thing like a little icon that pops up that says, "Hey, you won the drawing," and you didn't put yourself into the drawing, that's a scam.
Yeah.
So avoid all of those. And lastly, Brett, I've been kind of giving an update a little bit to a certain career taking place during the span of Boy Meets World, and that would be Michael Jordan in his reign as the greatest basketball player of all time. Come
Oh,
at me,
yes.
bro. And so,
Well, you're
yeah.
leading up to something, right?
Okay, sorry. So we have the 1997 NBA Finals. So this is taking place
Yes.
after the season of Boy Meets World wraps up, but it was between the Chicago Bulls and the Utah Jazz. These two teams were quite dominant in the East and the West, respectively, but they went to 6 games. The Bulls, of course, were coached by Phil Jackson, and the Utah Jazz were coached by Jerry Sloan. Blah, blah, blah. The series started on June 1st and ended on June 13th. Lots of Hall of Famers were in this game. Michael Jordan, Tony Kukoc, Robert Parrish, Scottie Pippen, Dennis Rodman, Karl Malone, John Stockton, um, as well as the coaches, and also some officials were there as well. Um, a big reason of significance on this year, Brett. This is the 5th title in Michael Jordan's 6 championships that he won.
Mm-hmm.
One of the most consequential games is called the flu game, where
Yes.
game 5, Michael Jordan reportedly had the flu. He had the flu all day. He didn't do warm-ups. He wasn't around the team very much. All of a sudden, game time rolls around. Michael Jordan is there. Michael Jordan plays the whole game. Michael Jordan, it's I think the game-winning shot as well. If you watch The Last Dance, they go into this game, and one of the things they talk about is he actually had food poisoning. And then, literally the day after this aired, a Pizza Hut made a statement saying, "How dare Michael Jordan say that about our shop?" And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, like, I watched the documentary. He doesn't say, "Don't go to the Pizza Hut on X Street because that's where they sent it, and that's the one that got me sick." So if you want to
Mm-hmm.
ask yourself, as the people who tried to get Michael Jordan sick and led to one of the most legendary games of all time, sure.
Yeah.
So, and I got a little article I found about the difference between 90s TV to today, but we're going to save that for later.
All right.
But those are our season ending deep dives, Brett.
Okay.
So, Brett, do you want to pull up our little graphics for us?
Yes, I will. Let me hit the screen share button here. Let's start with sharing the report card. So you can see the breakdown here, each episode by episode. Tyler, at the end of the season, you have... Siri apparently thought I was looking for information. Tyler, you finished the season giving the season 4 a 91% A-.
Yeah, I believe that.
Yeah. And I'm not that far behind you with an 88% B+.
No.
Now, I pulled up, just before this episode, I pulled up the previous 3 seasons.
Ooh, that'd be interesting.
Would you be surprised to find out this is the first season that you have actually finished a higher grade than I did?
No, that doesn't surprise me at all.
Yes, you the season 1, you finished with a B, I finished with an A-. Season 2, we both finished with Bs. And season 3, you again with a B and I with an A-.
Interesting.
Yes.
I must like season 4 more than I realized.
Yes, you must. So, let's take a look at the episode by episode breakdown.
Let's see them faces.
Yeah, let's see them faces. But there we go. There's
Oh, there
Tyler's
it
head.
is. It's just so ridiculous.
You can see it's like a roller coaster. A little bit slow.
Oh, there's literally I go up and then whoa,
and riding that high at the end and coming back into the station.
I like how the bees seem so scathing the way you put this on display. Like all the B pluses, it looks like, gosh, they're garbage.
Yeah, that's just the way the graph falls.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. Well, so that's what yours look like. Well, let's take a look at what mine look like.
Oh, yours is going to be worse.
You think so?
Well, yours is a little bit more bum, I think, than mine is. Yep.
Yeah.
I would not want to ride that roller coaster.
No, there's some steep hills in the middle there. But on the whole, it's a little more even except for those drop-offs, especially toward the end there. It really leveled out at the end.
Yeah. Well, and as we talked before, the episodes where we gave our lowest grades to are quote-unquote average episodes that on a different season could have been a much higher grade, but just with this season the way it was, just they felt so out of place for whatever reason.
Indeed. And now, as I always like to, here is both of ours together.
Oh my gosh. There's too many of our faces. Oh, wait. I want to enlarge that. Let me enlarge. Make it smaller. Make me smaller. There we go. Now that's big. Yep.
As you can see by the graph.
It's just always so funny to me when we have an episode that like I love, but you did not like, and you loved and I did not like. That happened twice. I gave an A, you gave a D, you gave an A plus to, I gave a C minus to. I gave an A minus, you gave a D. What episodes was that?
Well, let's see. I can pull up the report card here and tell you exactly. Let's see. Now, the B plus and the D was 1,600 candles and 400-pound men. And then the A and the C minus would have been...
Wait, so I gave an A to 16 pounds, 1,600-pound candles?
Yeah.
Okay. Huh.
Or no, you give a... That should be... I think that graph's a little off there. Because you should have a B plus for 1,600-pound candles, or 1,600-pound candles and 400-pound men. That should be a B plus and a D. That shouldn't be as great a disparity. I think I had that graph wrong.
That happens.
Yes, it does. Still a disparity, but
either way, seeing our faces like this is always so fun.
Yeah.
I do think for next season, your little icon needs to have a leather jacket.
I think I'll put the full bodies on next season, yes.
Yes.
Yes. But that is our grades, yes.
Very nice. Well, let's get into our last little subject then, shall we, Brett?
We shall.
We talked a little offline, I'm going to say months ago now, about maybe introducing a segment or just throwing out. Son of a nutcracker, where'd you go? That's annoying. Hold on. So we're going to try a little segment called Dadvice or Ask Dads. We'll workshop it. But something we were talking about a few months back is throwing out a couple of scenarios at each other from real life from a certain website called Reddit. Because why not?
Of
Um,
course.
so instead of taking the original, this is what this is, we're gonna say we're gonna Boy Meets World it up a little bit. We're gonna go with jerk face.
All right.
So we have to ask the question, Brent: is this person a jerk face?
All right.
So here's the title: am I a jerk face? I told my wife to be careful of foil in the microwave. Yesterday we had barbecue delivered for dinner. Yum yum. The delivery took a lot longer than usual and the food arrived a bit cold. My wife grabbed hers and went to the microwave. As she was going by, I noticed foil under the wax paper and said, "Hey, watch out, there is foil in there." Edit. This is at the table. She had not yet made it to the kitchen. I said it as I noticed it and had sincere intent, just trying to make sure she had noticed it. She feels like I was belittling her and degrading, making her feel like I don't think she was smart enough to use the microwave safely. Not at all my intention. I feel bad about that, but my intentions do not change the way she feels. So based on the way he made her feel, Brett, is he a jerk face?
Hmm. I his intention was not to make her feel bad. His intention was to be helpful. So honestly, I would be of the mindset that he's not.
He's not the jerk face.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, the problem in this situation is you're dealing with someone's feelings, and sometimes, especially say if you're a little more on the sarcastic, jokey side, it can come across as you maybe talking down to someone a little bit.
Indeed.
Depending upon the day, depending upon what's going on. So maybe she took it as you don't think I'm smart enough to realize I shouldn't do that.
Mm-hmm.
It should be considered a no-brainer to not put foil in the microwave. However,
Very
I
true.
know I've accidentally done it. I know plenty of people who have accidentally done very minor but small minor mistakes that had bad accidents attached to it because of the fact they weren't paying attention. Not because they weren't smart, but because they weren't paying attention.
Yes. And to be fair, we don't know the extent of, their relationship and what their see, the problem with the Reddit posts like this is that we don't really know what their relationship is like. Does he joke like this, like normal? Is this something he would not normally do? Or is this an off the cuff thing?
The question does come into play of how often in their relationship does he make her feel dumb?
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of where I'm wondering right at this moment. Um, and unfortunately, again, we don't know context. This is a very short post, and
Yeah, I would like to have a little more information on this one.
yep, there is
But
no more information. That's all we really get. Now, I'm not too equipped to go through Reddit and be able to find this person's information directly and find stuff, but from what I surmised from this whole thing is that he could be a jerk because of the way that he made her feel, but also how often does he make her feel that way? And, you know, you're sincerely trying to help someone, it's one thing, but if you're constantly making your person feel this way and this is just the time that she's finally had it, that could be understandable.
Yes. If this is the last straw, then yes, you definitely are.
Right. Also, are there children involved? Do you two what is the dynamics outside of the single moment? There is basically no information here, which is the annoyance.
Yeah.
Yeah. But would you name them the jerk face or not the jerk face?
Well, upon further reflection, without more information, I probably would lean a little more towards yes, you are.
Yeah, for lack of information, I give him a jerk face.
Mhm.
Sorry, buddy. But you are correct in that foil will destroy your microwave, and
Oh, yes.
potentially burn your house down. So.
Informationally, you are very correct, but
Yeah.
you could have had a little more tact.
Yeah. Something simple like, hey, I can see there's foil on there. Did you see it? Something simple, not watch for the foil.
Watch out for the foil. Yeah, I'm really seeing a little more there.
Yeah. Let's see. I have one.
I
more.
heard that.
Oh, here it is. All right. This is one that Sarah read to me before she went to bed. I had her pick out a couple, so that's the ones we're getting. So, am I a jerk face, Brett, for not buying my brother-in-law a bed he asked for his birthday after finding out he's saving for a trip to Universal Studios? So, my brother-in-law, 24 male, had been asking me to buy him a bed for his birthday. He lives with my mother-in-law and has always been awful with money. I found out he makes $1,000 a month on a good month and struggles with his half of the rent with his mother. He works at a fast food place. No disrespect. That no disrespect comes from me, and doesn't want to ask for more hours because he explained he simply doesn't want to work more than he already is. He works 2 days a week, 16 hours total, and explains that his anxiety keeps him from wanting to work because his boss won't let him listen to music while working, and he isn't allowed to be on his phone at work, which he sees as removing his right as a human. He called me asking for help uh, to buy his bed for his birthday. He, for some reason, sent everyone in the family a list of all the gifts he wants for his birthday. He's 24. Asked me for it because he's been sleeping on a couch since he moved in with his mom again. I told him I'd consider it. I truly don't mind. Um, it's only $200. He explained he can't afford it and is struggling to even buy one thing at a time. Buy one anytime soon. This week, though, I found out that he is saving to go to Universal Studios theme park. He's trying to save $3,000 to go for a week next year. So I told him I'm not going to buy his bed. I know I'm not his father, but something in me feels annoyed that he's telling me he can't buy a bed he needs, but is saving for a trip to essentially Disneyland. I told him that he needs to use the money he's saving for the trip to buy his bed because beds take priority. Again, he's not about the money. It's not about the money. I do well for myself. It's the issue of asking for help, and you won't help yourself. Am I the jerk face for removing my offer to get it for him? Feels very loaded.
It is a loaded one. I'll parse this a little bit of time. The offer extended was I'll consider it. So there wasn't much of an offer rescinded. I have sympathy for someone dealing with anxiety and needing some coping mechanisms to deal with that. Someone leaning only on one coping mechanism of a phone is not someone who's trying very hard to work through their anxiety. I have many, many people in my life that deal with anxiety on many levels and who have been able to find several different coping skills. I will not fault anyone who has set limits for how much they want to work. That said, when you set limits for how much you want to work, you are also setting limits for what you can do with the money you earn. I've never been a big fan of people who give me a list of what they want for their birthday or for Christmas and say, well, I mean, Christmas lists are one thing. Hey, here's some ideas. But I'm going to say mostly no. No for
Fair.
rescinding the offer. Maybe a little harsh in explaining why, but no, you're not a jerk face for rescinding the offer.
Yeah, I think it's harsh for sure. This feels very. It feels like he's looking down upon his brother-in-law. Although, based on some of the comments I'm seeing, apparently he and his brother-in-law aren't very close, unless the brother-in-law needs something. So there's a high chance this is the baby of the family potentially, and so if he wants something, he gets it. That's why he asks for people.
Live on the couch.
Whatever excuse is used for him, he's willing to take immediately. Yeah, I don't fault anyone who has a medical reason to not do something, but you still are accountable for that. And if you have a mindset that you're going to save money for a trip, for me and my family to go and do something like Universal Studios, it's going to grind and we're going to have to make hard choices. And if that's our goal, we'll do it. But if you're saying you're struggling every month, week to week, and you're making things harder on other people, and you technically have the money to take care of it, you're the jerk face for asking for something you can get. Now, I also understand because he does mention he has 6 figures, so he could easily buy a mattress. He could buy him a really nice mattress.
Yeah.
But, it's not the money that's the point. I guess I would say the real concern is if he's not willing to see the flaw in I'm saving for this, but I'm not taking care of myself now or helping the people around me now. I'm not willing to do more to get that. It's not like he's getting assistance from the government or anything like that, that he can only work so much and he's getting help here. Like he's not on any government programs. It's not listed. So at the end of the day, this might sound very old school, maybe 90s of me, but get off your butt and get a job, work more hours. If you don't like this job, go get another job. Trust me, there's other places that let you be on your phone, let you listen to music while you're working. You don't have to stay at a place that won't let you do that.
At one point, I worked for a cleaning company, and I would go into businesses in the evening, and when no one was there, I had 3 buildings that I would clean in the evening. I was the only one there. I listened to music and podcasts for about 3 hours every night.
Yeah.
All by myself.
Exactly.
Just cleaning, listening to music and podcasts.
Exactly. So, no, I don't think the OP original poster, I do not believe he is the jerk face. I do believe that the brother-in-law is a jerk face.
The brother-in-law very much has those tendencies.
Yes. So I think those are fair deliberations from us, Brett.
Yes. So before we move on, I did go back while you were reading and I corrected the graphs because yours was grossly inaccurate. So I want to share the accurate graph because it was just really, really
Understandable.
out of it. So
Before we get to the graph spread, so
yes,
based on the two stories we have of the tinfoil situation with a married couple and with a brother-in-law situation, what would be the best dad advice based on these two situations that we could pull together in a quick, hey buddy, this is what you need to do?
well, with the tinfoil, very, very quickly and simply, I would let that OP know that people respond better to something simple and nice. You don't have to turn everything into a joke or be lighthearted. Simply ask the question, did you see the tinfoil in there? I just want to make sure.
Mm-hmm.
To the second individual, I would reassure them that there's nothing wrong with rescinding that offer. There's nothing wrong with not purchasing the mattress. Perhaps a better angle would be, how can I help you better manage your money and or your time?
Mm-hmm.
And that might be a better offer.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think the best advice I could give from my vantage point is remember that your spouse is someone you need to communicate with. And if they feel that you are belittling them, then maybe you are. And sometimes how we feel based on the way we're interacting with someone is more important than what literally is coming out of our mouths. And
Mm-hmm.
my wife and I have today, not today specifically, but even, every now and then we'll have conversations. We'll go, when you said this, it made me feel this way. So understand that sometimes it's not about what you said or how you said it, it's just the way they interpreted it. And my wife and I would save ourselves so many fights if we would just understand a lot of times it's not about what we actually did, it's just what we triggered the way we did it.
Indeed.
And sometimes we trigger people and not realizing it and giving
Mm-hmm.
each other grace in those moments. And yeah, for that brother-in-law, it's okay if you don't give the mattress. Honestly, I'll throw this weird idea out to you. What if you get a gift card for Universal Studios and just say, "Hey, this is here." Instead of you wasting, trying to quote unquote save, that's there for that trip. Eventually, whenever you get to it, take the money that you were going to save and throw it over towards this way so you can pay for what you need to pay for.
Creative.
Yeah, I mean, when we went on our late honeymoon, we did a lot of that, where we went to like Giant Eagle, and we were like, okay, instead of just taking cash, we're gonna buy some gift cards, so we have that on hand, and give ourselves some gas money help as well. So, yeah, there are creative solutions, my friends. If you're willing to, think about it and take some time. So, Brett, why
Indeed.
don't we close by seeing the correct graph of my face?
All right. I was kind of hoping we'd have a really crazy OP so I could say this.
What could you possibly be thinking?
Oh, that's a good one. Hey, if we like doing this, we could have a couple more where you throw in a bunch of Boy Meets World sounds.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so here
That
is your
looks more
accurate.
realistic.
Here is your accurate graph. Yeah, I don't know what happened. I don't know if I didn't update it
Yeah.
from season 3 to season 4 when I did the grades. I know mine was
maybe.
accurate, and I remember updating the last few on yours, but I didn't touch up the first few, I think. So
It
this
happens.
is your accurate one. Not as
Yeah.
much of a roller
I was
coaster.
like, I didn't think I gave a D+, but sure. You said so.
But this is what it actually looks like. Ours side by side. There's still
That looks more
there's still
accurate.
that one that gap on 16 candles and 400-pound men. But
That's a fun episode.
it's fun, but I was not the biggest fan of it.
No, but that's all right. And look at our faces towards the end of the season. They're snuggling.
They're pretty much lockstep. and yeah, I mean, from the time we get through the mid-season, they're pretty much lockstep the rest of the way.
Yeah.
Yep,
This is a good season, Brett. There's no way else around it.
that's right. It is
That's
a high mark.
that's how I feel.
Yes. Well, Tyler, I know we were doing this on the fly, but do you have any
Oh,
dad jokes at all? I didn't think to grab any myself.
I guess, yeah, I got one. Just give me a second. Why don't you tell them about where they can get some sweet merch? I know we're not wearing the merch, but
Yeah, I'll tell you about where you can get some sweet merch, and I'll fill them in on what's going to happen for the next few weeks while we take a little
yes, that
downtime.
too.
We have a lovely shop at Threadless, dadsmeetworld.threadless.com, where we've got some official Dads Meet World with our figures, with our faces, our heads, and the actual bodies, and some episodes going to episode, some The Joke Comes First, and some Who's Your Pod Daddy. You get shirts, stickers, magnets. They just added scarves in those shops. So you can go there and you can pick up some stuff, help support the show, help spread the news about the show. The
Yeah.
more people you tell, the more people can find out. We're just a little show. We don't do a Patreon or anything. If you like us, we'd love to put our faces on your car. I was going to say body. That sounded really weird.
No, don't do it.
Don't get a tattoo. But if you do, send us a picture.
Yeah. But if there's more stories you'd like us to weigh in on, I think that could be fun. So let us know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And for the next few weeks, a while back last year, we recorded 3 episodes, a bit out of date, but still fun to listen to. We did some really deep diving on Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Yep.
And big movie for both of us. We're big DC guys, big comic book guys. And there's a lot of themes in Zack Snyder's Justice League that are worth exploring, and not just as comic guys, but as dads. And there's a lot of stuff that we were able to pull out of it that are worth talking about. And so if you're a fan, awesome, great stuff for you. If you're not a fan, give it a listen. There's some good stuff in there. Yeah. So that'll be the next 3 weeks, and then we'll be back.
You will not see our faces.
Yes, you won't see our faces. It's all audio. This is before we started doing videos, so there won't be our faces. It'll be static image on YouTube. But after that, we'll be back with our season 5 coverage.
Yes, getting into season 5. Oh, it's a lot of drama to get into in season 5.
That's
like
right.
Nunzio.
Of this, I am sure. And we'll meet Angela and Lauren and Jack Hunter.
Yes. This show gets crazy immediately. It's the new pilot of the show.
a soft reboot.
Every season is a soft reboot for this show. My goodness.
Mm-hmm.
But this season in particular is truly a soft reboot for a new show about seniors and college students.
The senior hall.
Yes. We don't go over there.
Oh, no. That side of the school? No.
Oh, goodness. Oh, yes. Dad jokes. That's right. I had that. Oh, are you kidding me? Google, Google is letting me down. All right, Brett. We were talking about the Jaguars, the team.
All right.
Last episode, but spoiler alert, we just talked about them a few minutes ago. So, why did the Jaguar eat the tightrope walker?
I don't know why.
It was craving a well-balanced meal. I'll give you one more. Why do seagulls fly over the sea?
Because if they flew over the bay, they'd be bagels.
Yeah, ba-da-da!
A little delayed, but oh well.
That's okay. I don't mind you catching them.
There we go. good looking people, that's it for season 4, completely wrapped.
Yep.
Like I said, next 3 weeks, bonus material. We're taking 3 weeks off to rest and recharge and get ready for season 5. Send us emails at dadsmeetworld@gmail.com. Find us on social media at dadsmeetworld, Facebook, X, Instagram. We'll still be posting stuff there. And on YouTube at dadsmeetworld. Until
But if you're
then.
part of the Venn diagram that is Boy Meets World and Power Rangers and DC, let us know.
Yes. Find the overlap. We want to talk to you.
Yes.
So until then, we'll see you, good looking.
Back to you, good looking.
We are the Dimmers.
I want to be normal, Spud.
This is good TV.
You know, how can I learn so much every week and still be so stupid?
Dads Meet World is a production of Headfirst Studios. Headfirst Studios. Tell your story.
When these Dads Meet World, Dads Meet World.